Finance Minister Tito Moboweni is only 2 weeks into his job, and yet he will have the unenviable task of delivering the medium-term budget policy statement on Wednesday, the 24th of October. With us in studio, we have Solly Moeng, a brand reputation expert, going to chat to us about what in this speech do you think will be Minister Mboweni's, and what will be what he's just been given?
Look, he, as you say correctly, he's 2 weeks into his job. He's somebody that people have confidence in. He has the experience of government and governance as previous governor of the Reserve Bank and Labour Minister. And he's someone with a lot of opinion of himself. He's not afraid to express his opinion. People want to see somebody who comes into that position understanding what is going on in the country, understanding what has been the biggest concern of South Africans and of the investor community out there. And he needs to come up and give us reassurance, or assurance rather, that things will be fine. There's got to be a sense of we are heading for the long term, and in the long term this is what's going to happen. Investors want to see not 2 weeks ahead of us. They want to see long term. Are they going to place funds here? Is it safe? Is the policy stance clear? Is it not clear? I think his job is really to assure. He's not going to change major policy here. And let's give him, let's face it, 2 weeks into his job, he's going to read largely a presentation that was prepared by somebody else. Maybe he would have had 10% of it to influence it in his own style.
Minister Mboweni has really been interacting with society. Social media has become very, very popular in the last few days. Do you think that that adds to the trust and to the likability factor that South Africans see in the finance minister? Because in the last couple of years, South Africans have been bitterly disappointed in very many ministers.
Well, I think people are going to be, people like him because he interacts, obviously, but Zuma also interacts. They like him because he's him. He's very independent-minded. He says what he thinks, and I think more importantly, he has not been linked to the Zuma State Capture Brigade. He's not part of that community. While he was still out there, he was very, courageous in saying what he thought was wrong about South Africa. So they hope to see him come in there to say, I will not be part of the rot, and whatever rot has happened, we need to correct it, and these are the things that we want to put in place to make sure those things never happen again. So people want assurance. The markets, South Africans, taxpayers, they want assurance that the ship is slowly coming under the control of people they can trust.
Do you think that South Africans will get that tomorrow?
Well, he hasn't delivered a budget speech before. It's the first time. I hope it's up to him. Everything relies on how he's going to deliver this thing. But again, it's not just a matter of style. Style is important. It's a matter of content. Is he going to be credible enough? Is he going to be given the space to do what he needs to do? We must remember that finance ministers, like all ministers, serve at the pleasure of the president. The serious policy direction doesn't come from the finance minister. It comes from the president. So we hope that this president will allow him the space that he needs, having had enough time to look at what was going on from the outside, to come in and say this and this and this must stop, and this and this and this must start.
Because as much as we're looking at the softer side of things, there are also the hard facts that we need to acknowledge. The unemployment, the escalating debt, the corruption, those sort of things need to be addressed to get the trust that you're speaking of.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a very good point. Also, South Africans have been taking a lot of beating of late. Tax hikes, fuel rate hikes, everything. Like, the cost of living is getting really, really expensive. Now there's a rumor that the ANC in government is thinking of another VAT hike. I mean, and Eskom is also asking for some 45% increase in the. It's too much for South Africans. They cannot take it. I know that people cannot take it anymore. Both small businesses, individuals, business. So
it's literally becoming impossible to
exactly.
start.
So he needs to come in, and we also know that the tax base is eroding. All the negative political rhetoric that we've been hearing has been scaring people away from South Africa. Not everybody who leaves South Africa makes a noise on social media about it. They quietly go away. So all these tax, the revenue target collections that the government has set are not going to be achieved. Even the former Prime Minister of Finance said it. So he needs to tell us, where is government going to make cuts. We know that the government labor force is over bloated. The ANC is not going to allow any retrenchments before the elections, but cuts have to happen somewhere. It's somewhere the government needs to find it. They can't just shift existing funds. They have to make sacrifices. Where are the sacrifices going to be made? Are the sacrifices going to be made at the cost of government or the cost of the South Africans? You know, what has he got for us? Both as marketers, as people in the market, investors, but also as South Africans. That's what people are waiting to hear. Is there anything new that he's going to give to us today, instead of announcing that he's going to take more and more for us in order to replenish all the coffers that have been emptied through state capture?
Thank you, Solly. And tomorrow we'll wait with bated breath to see what Minister Tito Moboweni's first midterm budget policy statement is like.
Yeah, I look forward to that too. Thank you.